Yeah. Nigga. Hey, you don't never see a real nigga doing no fuck nigga shit.
YouTube, what's good, man? What's good with y'all? It's your boy LYTE, aka the King of Radio. You know I got the good chef with me. Listen, Cake Boy in the building. You want to stir it up. But look, man, today we got a special episode, man, because we got a couple guests in the building, man. Let me introduce them. So first, I got my boy Jordan in the building.
Yo, Sean.
Yeah, man. Musically talented, musically gifted. Actually, I didn't get a chance to talk to this off camera, but yeah, he raps. So
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely got
So,
it.
link.
Business meeting. And then we got my man of the hour in here, my boy Mars.
Money Mars.
At Seeking Mars. Like seeking, finding.
There you go.
I'm gonna have everybody Instagrams, links, and all that stuff up here, so we'll make sure we get all that in there. Mars does yoga, fitness, instructor, everything, and
y'all females know y'all need to go get your body.
Summertime coming,
You like that?
You want to look good in your sundress.
Right, you feel me? Summer's around the corner.
So we're gonna get into all that today. Also want to touch on the topic. We got a couple topics we want to get into, but we want to talk about interracial relationships, which I think is a dope topic to get into. We also want to talk about being pro-black, and we're just gonna top it up. We're just gonna have a good time, you know what I'm saying, and break this down for you. So first, we're gonna start off with Mars. Mars, you want to kind of just give people an idea of like what you're doing with your yoga and fitness?
Yeah, so I've been practicing yoga for probably like a year and a half. The main thing that got me into it is that I actually had an injury. I ruptured my Achilles tendon. Like I tore my tendon on the back of my left leg, and I didn't have health insurance at that time, so I didn't get like no surgery or nothing. So when I was healing, I just started doing yoga, and I just got hooked on that. And I like healed my leg, and it's the best leg ever. But so I just been obsessed with that, and I want to transition, my life into kind of representing that brand of fitness, health, yoga. So right now I'm kind of like working on getting like my certification to be like a yoga instructor, and then I'm gonna start coming out with like my YouTube channel stuff for at home workouts over time. That's what I'm working on currently. Yeah.
Cool. So in your mind, how important do you, like, I know everyone talks about how important fitness is, right?
Yeah.
Can you, I want you to kind of, just stress to you why you feel that way. Like, why, obviously it's a healthy lifestyle, but why can't we just eat right? Like, why is the working out portion of this just as important as the diet?
So, this is on a whole different, like, deep level. So humans, we've been around probably like, 500,000 years. It was like hunter-gatherers, and we used to run around all day and look for food. For like the past 6,000 years, since society's been developing and getting more and more sedentary, and we forget that actually being active is our natural way of life. So it's just natural for us to be active, and we forget that. We have to remember that we're creatures that like to move around, and we have to be active, and it's very important because it makes you live longer. And it's what you're supposed to do. We're not really supposed to sit around all day, naturally. That's not what we're really made to do.
Right. Tell them couch potatoes that.
Yeah, we were couch potatoes.
Nah.
So it's very important, yeah.
So I know you said you want to start doing the yoga. Take us behind yoga for someone who doesn't really know what yoga is. You know what I'm saying?
Yoga, what most people see or think is kind of like white girls in spandex with like Starbucks. Yoga is thousands of years old from India, and it's a practice that has multiple layers that are religious and physical. So what like people practice mostly like in America or in the yoga entertainment kind of world that we're in is like the hatha yoga, which is like the physical form of yoga, doing those movements and those poses. And vinyasa flow is the flowing of those movements and the sequences like created by the teacher based on the breath. So you do a move per breath, in, out, arms up, with each breath. That's the most popular kind of yoga. That's what people do as yoga today. That's what you see. Okay. So yoga is an ancient practice. It's something that they've been doing for a long time that has several layers, but most people don't know that because we just see like I said, white girls in spandex. It's way more than that. They did not make that shit up. It's 100-year-old Indian dudes with beards that teach yoga. That's a real, you know what I'm saying? That's where it's coming from. And we don't think about that.
So, let me ask you this. I know me and you had to kind of talk off camera, right? And I know you obviously want to do yoga, but you kind of have a different spin on like how you want to teach in classes and stuff. So you want to talk about that?
Yeah, definitely. I want to, integrate yoga, but I'm not focused on just yoga. I'm focused on overall, like motivation. Like let's make it a goal, an active goal to work out and be healthy every day, not as a fad, not as a New Year's resolution, not to fit in a dress for the party. No, like just a lifestyle overall, period, every day, every life. That's what you should aim for. And to me, like I have like acronym for FIT. It's like finding inner triumph. Okay, because every day you have to make yourself to do that. Because when you put in that work of dedication, even if it's only 15 minutes some days or 10, you have to make it a goal and you will reap the reward. Right. You have to find an inner triumph because when you do something that you don't necessarily want to do but it's good for you, you're going to feel good after you do it.
That's just,
I know you've been going to the gym a lot.
Oh yeah, no, like that's exactly the feeling I get. Like, even though it's hard to get up, bro, and make that 7, 8, 9 o'clock deadline in the gym, bro, like when you leave there, no matter how tired you are, whatever, you feel so accomplished. Like that sets the tone for your day.
Exactly.
You feel me? So, hey, I definitely feel what you're saying. Like it's like definitely a lifestyle. Cause you start your day off like that, bro. Like the rest of your day is gonna be running smooth. You're gonna be mentally stronger. Like I feel that.
It's just gonna become a natural part of your life, and it's gonna trickle into the other parts of your life.
Yeah, man. I think it's dope. You know what I'm saying? I think it's nice to be able to explain it to other people because, like you said, I think from the outside looking in, like I'll just keep it a butt. Like you said, when I think of yoga, you're sitting in the movies, like you said, with the Karens. You know what I'm saying?
With the Karens.
It's like you don't really think about it. They always pitch working out as going to the gym and lifting weights and getting strong, but there's other things.
It's funny you say that. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't go to yoga class. I watch some videos on YouTube and I freestyle for myself. And you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to pay anything. You might need guidance and you might need support. That's the main thing I want to offer because anybody can charge you for teaching, to work out. I want to charge you for us being a motivational base for you to, come to, and we're gonna work out.
Right. So you feel like being motivated or putting positive energy into someone is just as important as the actual physical part of
exactly. Because if you just take somebody through some exercises, but you don't actually work on the mentality of making it a lifestyle, then that person might not continue to do that.
That's true. That's definitely true.
So it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, that's good fact. So I definitely want to stay on the yoga topic. I do have like a broader scope that I want to get everyone's opinion on. Yeah. So me and him, we shot a video the other day. Footage got super trash. Wow. In that conversation, we had a conversation about pro-black, right? Yeah. And one of the things that came up in that conversation was, do you feel like you can marry or date somebody white and also be pro-black? So, I'll talk to them prior. If you ever come on the show, we're never putting your business out there unless I get the okay to have this conversation with you prior to. So, your girlfriend right now actually is white. Yeah. Do you feel like you get any type of pushback from people because of that?
Definitely. So, taking you a little bit further back, my mom, I know we're all black here, so my mom wanted me to date somebody black, of course. Like she never said it, but you can always tell like somebody black.
Yeah.
So like thinking back now, fast forward 2021, like everything going on, like you definitely get like certain like stares out in public with like just like random people looking at me like me and her like together, and like black dude, white girl.
Right.
So you like definitely feel it, but I still consider myself pro black. I'm pretty sure Mars do too. So
as we were having that conversation as well, you know, you had asked I wish we could have kept that original footage. We had a conversation, and one of the things that came up was, do you feel like you can be gay and also be pro-black? Because I hate this conversation, but scientific, because it's so stupid. But you know, scientifically, you can't technically recreate. It's going against religion and everything like that. So, you know, I asked Mars if we could have this conversation with him. So, Mars, how do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like that? Like, do you feel like it hinders?
So me, you know, I'm a black gay male. I'm always open about that. It's never a secret or anything. And everybody, you know, they fuck with me because of that, honestly, because I'm just a real ass person. So as far as like being pro-black and being gay, I feel like in the black community, being gay, you kind of get shunned sometimes because a lot of black people, especially in the U.S., tend to have a religious undertone or a hyper masculinity or a toxic masculinity. I don't like you always using toxic because it's not always toxic. It's hyper sometimes. But part of that hostility comes from black people having to be very strong in the U.S. So when somebody is looking weak to you, it's like you don't want them to be a part of you because you feel like they're weakening you or something. But I'm black. People are going to treat me black every day. If I'm gay, they're going to treat me gay. So they're going to treat me black and gay. So I'm going to be worse off getting treated first off. So you should accept me because I need your acceptance. You feel me? And I love every black person. Every black person does not always love me. And that's okay, but I'm still pro-black. I'm pro-black because I care about black people. Every black person doesn't have to agree with me.
So, you know, I talked about it, we talked about it too. I know you were in a relationship at one point with someone who was Asian, right? And,
it's okay to go with different flavors. I mean,
so my question is,
the spice of life.
The question was obviously, can you date somebody white? Why do you guys feel like it's not as frowned upon to date outside your race if it isn't somebody white? So if you date someone, let's say Hispanic, we don't look at that the same way as we look at if you date somebody white. Why do y'all feel like it's different when you date someone white?
I say for the Spanish thing, I say it's because when you think about races and like different demographics and stuff, the closest thing to black people are Hispanics. As far as struggle, as far as like family values and stuff like that, they're pretty closely related. Now, as far as like why you get so many looks that white people compared to other minorities, I think that might be the PTSD talk. It might be.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm thinking like one word, like slavery.
It's the history behind it that makes it taboo.
I think so.
So like people, you know, that's our ancestors. It's not necessarily us, but that history is attached to everything that we do.
Absolutely.
And don't get me wrong, and I mean, I'm sure you could agree, you wouldn't date a white person that you didn't feel was pro-black.
Correct.
Or on the path.
Or just wouldn't understand like black issues and stuff like that.
It's like you don't have to understand everything right away, but you need to be trying to fucking understand
for sure,
shit.
absolutely. Especially if you dating that person. That's what we were talking about too. Like, I feel like if you go and date somebody of the opposite race or a case may be, that's cool. But I think make it a point to learn somebody's background. You know what I'm saying? That will definitely give you a bigger insight to understand why they do the things they do or react the way they act. Because you know, we get into people and stuff like that. You don't know why they might lash out at certain things or feel sensitive about certain things and stuff. So, yeah, I think that definitely needs to be like one of them things. Like go have dinner with the fam.
It's like, at the end of the day, everybody is a person, and you know, whatever religion you are, I have my own religion. I believe, you know, at the end of the day, we all the spirits. We came from the pool of spirits. You feel me? And when you get to a body, it's like a raindrop of a spirit into a body. Like, we're all the same, but just in different bodies, type shit. You feel me? So the world that we live in wants to divide us, but we're really not meant to be divided.
And that's like what I was saying too. Like for me, so you know, my background, I'm mixed.
Yeah.
I mean, my grandma was from Italy. My mom is mixed black and white, and then my dad's all black. So I got to see it. You know, I was around mostly black people, so you know that's obviously how I identify myself. But at the same time, it's like what I was saying to him off camera was like, you also get to see that fight from a different side. So like, for instance, my grandma was married to a black man in the 60s.
Right.
When racism was, you know,
It was illegal.
Right, that's illegal, right?
Yeah.
So she went through her plight just as much as we did, but from a different, you know, from a different perspective, because she got tons and tons of hate. She was basically disowned from her own family for making the choices that she made. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until she had her children where her parents, I guess, wanted to have a relationship with their grandkids where they kind of, you know what I mean, ease back up a little bit. But they didn't talk to her for a long time. And I see your face.
No, because I had a question brewing in my head. I'm like, hold on. I got some.
Alright, go ahead.
No, because y'all know about the lady who basically had fake being black.
Yeah.
All that time.
Racial,
So I was, because you said one thing when you said identify.
Right.
Because nowadays we're living in a time where you can be half this, or quarter this, or quarter that, but it's really all what you identify as.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and stir the pot up a little bit, but there ain't no tea, no shade.
That's what we're doing.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
I've been going back and forth in my head a lot about it. Now, cool, we got a woman in office. I ain't gonna knock that. Shout out to all the women. But one thing that kept playing back in my head was, does she identify as? Okay, what do you identify as? I have to ask you.
But do you identify as black every day, or
right.
when it's
convenient? Right, exactly. Because bro, there's been a lot of times I done seen on video like she's saying she identifies with more of her Indian side than she does her black side.
Yeah, I haven't researched her like that.
Yeah. Well, her dad is Jamaican and her mom is Indian, like from India. So. I don't, you know, it don't make no difference to me, bro. Like, cool, kudos to you, whatever you identify as. But my thing is, I don't like what people do is they pick and choose. Right. Because, like you were saying, every day of the week, we can look at it black. We ain't got no choice.
It's funny you say pick and choose because I go through that as a gay male. Like, I could walk around and act straightish, you know, and not look gay if I want to feel safer in a certain place. You feel me? But I try not to do that because I recognize like that's a privilege. Like some gays or just being black, we can't turn off the black. Like you're gonna see it every day, no matter what. So like I recognize like I shouldn't try to diminish myself just for somebody else's comfort or my perceived comfort, because the true comfort is being yourself. You feel more comfortable when you have to try to hide. So you shouldn't misrepresent yourself or speak for people that you really don't have their back. Like, because if you tell me one day you black and then the next day you saying Indian, like you can't you can't go back and forth.
You can't go back.
It's too much history with you.
You gotta stick to it, man, and be what it is. So that was my only core with it. But
one of the things that I said to you, I was never homophobic, right? I never had an issue, it never really bothered me, nothing. But one thing that Atlanta really opened me up to that I never thought that I would have, and that's just keeping it all the way 100, I never thought I would have legitimate gay male friends. Like, this isn't just an episode. Like, the reason that I brought them here, these are the people I hang out with. You know what I'm saying? I was just out with Mars the other
This is
night.
my first time, you know.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't just, you want to come do a show? Yeah. We just went out. You know what I mean? We just went bowling, 2 weeks ago?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We see each other.
Yeah, we're together a lot. And Atlanta, you know, I have other friends too, and it's just like I never, you know, it's a shame on myself, and I'm, you know, I'm opening up to admit that like it really changed my perspective on, you know what I'm saying, a lot of things being in Atlanta, because Atlanta, you know, the gay population in Atlanta is predominant.
Right, because you know why? It's because the South or black communities are, like I said, shunning gays. Like when me and my boyfriend lived in Jackson, oh man,
you're from Jackson, right? Yeah, you're from Jackson.
Hey, what's up, man?
Uncle Greenfield, bro. Okay, Jackson,
Yeah.
and Clinton, you know, the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
But when we were there, you don't really see like gay people out.
No.
You don't see them holding hands. You don't see none of that shit. It's all behind closed doors. It's all online. It's all a secret. It's all taboo. It's all like we would go out to eat as an interracial gay couple, and I'm talking about they would stare us down like a fucking dog. Like we was the evilest, nastiest, dirtiest motherfuckers on the planet. So when we moved here, it was totally different, and that's why they moved here, because it's open. They all want to come
You
here.
be comfortable. You can be comfortable and be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, bro. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really just you just want to be yourself, bro. Like,
Right.
You want to be somewhere where you can just walk up the street, be yourself, say what up to people there. You don't get hella weird
And
stares.
just like you said, when you actually started meeting some people that, you know, you had more opportunity to, you know, actually get into somebody,
Because for
you
me,
feel like
Philly,
friends.
like I said, I never had an issue, but I was also never around it.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't until I got to Atlanta where I'm, you know, like I said, so predominant that it's like,
You can't avoid it.
yeah, and it was like, because I never had an issue, it was easy for me to just be like, oh, he cool as shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, one of my first friends, I'm not gonna put his name on here, but I used to work at T-Mobile before I got into this. And one of my co-workers, I'm like, damn, he's like my favorite person in the store. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it got to the point where like we started hanging out. Like, I had got into a program called Career Development Program. It was to move up into management for T-Mobile at the time. And he was the other person who got accepted. They only took 3 people in Georgia. So I'm going through all these classes, and he was like the only person that I could relate to. Like, bro, this shit is, you know what I mean? It's crazy. These classes are this. We just got real cool, and that was like the first time I had like interaction, just one-on-one, like not in a group setting. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think like people have this stigmatism or something like.
They're like, how should I feel about, you know, me liking this person? Does that make me like, no, it's just, you can like whoever, you can be friends with
The
anybody.
longer I've been down here, I realized how stupid that mindset was.
You limit yourself. Like, you're closing doors that a person could be beneficial to you.
That's true.
Like, if I was like, oh, I don't want to talk to straight niggas from Philly on some thug shit, like, I wouldn't be on this podcast with you. I'm limiting myself. That's not helping me.
Right. Exactly.
That's hurting me.
To you, Jordan. Do you feel like I know you're going back to what you said about the stares and stuff like that. Have you experienced like anything like from her side of the family, like looking at you different, or do you think that they felt some type of way towards you?
Not really.
Not really.
But then again, like I feel like they wouldn't show it to me either.
Yeah.
Like I've asked her like hella times, like.
Let me ask you this: Are they the traditional white people, or are they more modernized white people? You know, there's a
They
difference.
got both. Like they got like a farm and like.
Because where's her family from?
Ohio. Yeah, they got farms and shit, but she pretty modern though, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And now that you guys have been together for a while, I know you said that your mom never came out and said it, but she would, I guess, prefer that you date somebody black. Do you feel like that's like still a thing, or has that eased up now that you guys have been together for a while?
My mom not really like, how do I put it, like either way it goes, whoever I'm with should be cool with it pretty much. So she not gonna say it like out there, but she's pretty cool with it though for the most part. Like she ain't gonna trip with me.
But it's crazy. So like I said, I am mixed. My mom is more mixed than me because I'm 75-25. She's 50-50. Never came out and said it. Don't got to. I know she wants me to date somebody black. Like it's like how you said.
You can feel it.
Like
it's like
the same thing. Not if I brought somebody white home, she would never care. She would treat you with the utmost respect. Everything.
But she don't know it.
I know it from her heart. Exactly.
That's exactly how it is.
With a black woman. Yeah, man. Where I want to take this to. So, with that being said, let me ask y'all this. Do you feel like, I want to play devil's advocate because I feel like we're all in agreement that you can be pro-black, right?
We gotta disagree.
Right. So I just want to play devil's advocate for a second. So you go to these Black Lives Matter movements and you're preaching pro-black and you're involved in your community and all that, but then you go home to somebody white.
Right.
Do you feel like that deteriorates or hinders with your statement in any way?
I would say no, because at the end of the day, also it depends on who that person is. And my boyfriend, we've been together like 6 years now. He's white. It's kind of like the disowned situation. Like they don't really fuck with him, or they don't really like him, anymore because he's gay and likes black people. Period.
Right.
So he's kind of like an outcast from the family. He don't really talk to none of his family. He's more than proven that he's into black stuff. When people meet him, they think he's more black acting than me. So like it was just natural. Like when we met, it didn't feel like I'm just like dating some white person that's not educated. Because when I met him, he was already educated. He wouldn't been going to school with black people in Jackson his whole life. He wasn't like a rich white person.
So he's from Jackson,
right? So he went to school with 80% black people, and that's how he is. Right. That's who he is.
Yes.
Let me ask you the same thing, Jordan. Do you feel like it hinders your message? Is it how you feel towards in any way?
I don't think it does to anybody in my age group, I guess it's say. I'm 23, so growing up we were just taught to just love everyone.
Yeah,
so
that's a fact.
you can only if you're thinking in the past, you can only see past shit, but we try to think towards we're all one. Cool.
Yeah. Well, me and him were talking about off camera is that racism will always be, it'll always be a thing.
Yeah.
It just is. But I feel like it's starting to, it gets watered down with each passing generation because these old racist white men are starting to die.
Let's be honest, it's the older white structure. We don't want to uphold that. Black people are not trying to say we're better than everybody. That's only white racist people.
Let me get you clear. Being pro-black doesn't mean that it's against any other race. This isn't what this is about. Being pro-black is just, being for your people and wanting to see the people around you win. Not only win, but get a fair chance at winning. We have been discredited for so long and not given a fair shake at an equal right. And that's what this is about.
It's not about being proud of being black.
Yeah. And it's not about being above anybody else. It's about being on equal footing. That's all we really want. Is to be treated equally.
Because we're so used to being torn down that we're just trying to build ourselves back up. It's not like we're trying to build ourselves above everybody else.
So let me ask y'all this stuff, right? Because you had said it, I think, on the tape that got messed up about us as black people constantly tearing down our own race more so than maybe any other race. You want to touch on that?
I mean, so yeah, I do. I feel like black people, us as a whole too, they always want to argue with we ourselves, and I feel like we need to do better too, as being a little bit more pro-black. Can't be out here pro-black, you know what I'm saying, and you just gonna wipe a black person up off the streets just because, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a lot of violence in the black community, bro, that we could turn down a little bit. It's a lot more prideful. It's we can respect black women a little bit more. They can respect black men a little more. We can respect ourselves a little bit more. And I think universally, that's gonna let everybody else know, okay, they're not playing with themselves, so we gotta respect them too on a higher level.
I would say I think that comes from poverty though.
Right.
The cards we were dealt with, slavery, we had this. So now we are in a small box, like the projects in Chicago.
I always say a crab barrel mentality. For sure. Did y'all see before we skip to the next topic? I was talking about did y'all see the couple that was our house value? You talking about black people getting short end of the stick and stuff, right? Yeah. This is the stuff that be causing black people to rage and stuff like that, because it's why? You see the people, they were oh yeah, we literally got the value appraisal for our house to be $500K higher just for asking our white neighbor to basically stand in and be the owner of our house. Yes, facts. That's real. They said the value went up on the appraisal because they asked. And the white person was like
this year?
This year. And the white girl was like, the person who they asked was like, sure, I'll do it, no problem.
But then it's crazy, but it's not crazy.
Because you know that's how.